And we're back. Amazon dropped its 5th episode of Wheel of Time, and we are here with our non-readers to react to it. As always, we have Lady Catherine and G Mama. How are you two doing? Before we begin, please like and subscribe as it helps the channel and the algorithm.
All right, Lady Catherine, you have the most notes.
Yes, I do. Okay, so when it started, I have to tell you, I really liked the Mohawks. I kind of thought if they're going to be on ships, they're pretty aerodynamic.
And I realized that your nickname for Mohawk Girl is going to have to change.
You know what? I had a hard
all
time. All
sorts of Mohawk girls now.
In the very beginning, they said the High Lord. And I was like, who's the High Lord? And then we met, I guess, the High Lord, and I still don't know who the High Lord is. I did like when they brought out Leo and the Sashimi Lord to the High Lord.
Leo is loyal, right? Okay.
So, wait, real quick. And Ingtar is the Sashimi Lord?
Well,
is that what you just said?
They both sound the same. One are sashimi, one are sashimi. I mean,
no, Shinarin, I think, right? Aren't they? Is his name Shinarin, right?
Shinarin,
right? So
the shasha
sashimi, I'm with it.
Okay, the Sashimi Lord, and I thought for prisoners, man, they were looking pretty good. They looked best that they have all season.
They were right. They didn't look like they were being harmed. I don't think they were like had chains around them, or I mean maybe they did, but they were clean, had clean clothes on.
Yeah, and that Shanarian Lord did look groomed. His hair looked pretty on point.
Full on makeup too. I don't remember him wearing makeup, like so much makeup before, but he was all done up.
He looked Dothraki.
I did like the fact that the Lord would not let her interpreter speak, but he made her speak through his interpreter.
Right. Clearly a power play. So whoever this guy is, so same. I'm like, all right, so who are you?
Right.
And you're scolding her, and she wasn't supposed to do it, but we don't know who this guy is, except that he wants to troll the world.
The head honcho.
Right. But
yeah, I did notice he said they were guided by the light, which all I could think was blinded by the light from Man for Man.
Cut up like a douche, another loner in the night?
Blinded, yeah. Does he not know who Dracula is? Because it appears that he doesn't at this point.
No, and right. He doesn't, because even later he's like, you're not, they said a couple times, you're not of the blood, right? So so whatever it is some race, some nationality thing where you need to be of that blood, and that's who they want to take over the world. And this guy isn't. He's an outsider, but he won favor. So yeah, I had kind of a lot of questions about this. They're trying to earn favor with this guy that we don't really know who he is. I mean, I assume he's the leader of the Shenchen. Just don't know why he's so powerful.
Yeah, and he's got the other chick doing all his work. Now, what I didn't get was the fact that she golden deep-throated someone, and that was okay, but when she breaks a nail, it's like, I mean, manicures are really expensive.
Yeah, right? Whatever that symbol. So and the only two people there that had those nails were the Lord Turak guy and her, right? So it's a status symbol, I'm assuming, right? Because she obviously is in charge of her faction, but she follows, is lower rank than that guy is. But to me, that was whatever status of her rank, and he took it away.
It takes a while to get nails that long. So the fact that they got cut off in almost a ceremony where it's like, kneel, she looks at the Dracula guy, and Dracula guy's like, yeah, kneel.
Yeah.
All right. Puts her hands out, and that dude just not even a hangnail, just straight out.
Yeah, they Ned Starked the nails right there.
Yeah.
And then
what was left are still way longer than my nails.
It was great. The next scene, she had like little band-aids on them.
It's a gusher.
Little flowers.
So Steve actually saying that made me kind of feel reminiscent of this whole group of people, right? The Shenchen with all the hair, the really like crazy, coiffed, like very different styles. Reminded me of the
Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
Good call.
So at the Capitol, right? Everyone, their makeup was funky, their jewelry, their hair, it was all just super, super different, but I guess normal for them. That's what made all like what as I was looking everybody there, I'm like, oh, you guys are like at the Capitol. You guys are like hoity-toity.
I like the interpreter. She looked like she took big medicine things and pulled it in, or like Coke cans and just put them on and then shaved the side. But then they call out Patrick with the box.
Yeah.
And he brings the box to the head honcho. So
How did he come out? Dude saunters out, like right wherever he was hitting, and he is that swagger, right? Like he's got no qualms about anything in the world. He is the shit, and walks in with this gift.
What was the soundtrack of his walk?
It was Shaft.
Damn straight.
I did notice when the head honcho was opening it, he used his 2 fingers, but then his other nails really looked like they needed some work. Now, how does having the horn rule the world?
I have the same question of, well, I guess just what's the game, right? What's the end game, and why does this Lord Turak? He clearly is a key part in the game that Ishmael is playing. He brought him the horn.
Why?
And then later, we'll talk later, but later he brings him another gift. You know, he wants to get Lady Turak back in his favor. So he's like, okay, you're gonna, accept her gift, and then that's Egwene, right? So they're fully like working this guy so that they're all in his favor, and I just don't know who he is, and I don't know what power he has. He's an outsider right? They're all in Falm, and he's an outsider there too. So it's not even like it's his kingdom that they're in.
We do have who we learn is the head of the Forsaken, who's being very subservient and acquiescing to this High Lord.
Yeah, so he's got a game, right? He's got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow to have the Dark One win, but I just don't know why this guy is so important to his plan.
He said that, or she said, you need my army. And I think that because he needs the strength of that guy, that he's kissing butt.
Right. Yeah, not just her army, but he probably has multiple armies like hers. So yeah, that's a good point. That's probably what it is. But
yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. But I know after that, sorry.
When Lady Sarath lost her nails, we see her from then on out without that face covering. Was that part of her demotion?
Right, without the face covering, and without, she had like extra hair, or in part of the face covering, she had this like big old thing and the face. So I didn't necessarily think of that, because when she went to him later, she wasn't in all that regalia. So with the nails comes the mask and the extra hairpiece.
Okay.
Hairpiece. I didn't even think of the fact that she had it off. I thought she was just, I'm back at home. This is kind of thing. This is more for ceremony. I didn't put that together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you're right. She didn't have it on again, even when she saw like Leandrin later, and she was on her big kind of chariot thing. Yeah, she never had it on again. So that's a good point that maybe it was a demotion.
Yeah, but I think they
ripped the stripes off of her sleeve.
We're gonna need your badge and gun.
Mm-hmm.
Rigs
and your nails. Well, the thing with that nail punishment is you can't just go back on it. The nails are cut off. There's, it's not like, all right, you're back. Go get some in the armory.
Well, I think the next part was to Leandrin, as she was healing herself. I don't know if you've seen
that. No, that's Lanfear. Yeah.
Lanfear. Okay. Have you seen The Last of Us with the fungus and everything? That kind of reminded me of that, with coming from the bottom, kind of healing her sort of thing. They were going through her eyes, but they kind of came from underneath the
floorboards or whatever.
Yeah. So it was kind of nature.
It made me think of Venom again. and that black. But it was also, I had mentioned this before, it was what Matt had in that dagger. So when they took kind of the evil from Matt, it looked the same. It was that black stringy evilness.
I'm getting a feeling that Rand is not crazy, but I think Maureen may have gotten as crazy instead.
Oh.
Because she's seeming a little off this whole season, just slicing the horse and doing all this kind of stuff.
I agree. I feel like we saw more of the true Maureen, or maybe the old Maureen, in this episode as well. Her sister pointed out to her, right? Her sister said, "You have always known exactly where you're going next and exactly what you're doing, and right now you don't." So, and her sister pointed that exact kind of thing out, that she's off. There's something going on. And shortly before that, and I know I'm jumping way ahead, but she saw her nephew, and I saw her personality for the first time, right? She joked with him. She's like, "Okay, see you later." And she's like, "Oh, my liege," right? I mean, we saw a personality of her, of kind of like a Maureen that we didn't know before, right? Not powerful Aes Sedai Maureen, not like, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I don't have the power, but her relationship with her sister, her relationship with her nephew. So I like that opening, and it's showing a weakness that she's.
And Rand got to see that too.
Right?
Yeah.
He asked. He's like, "Oh, you can just do it with the one power," and she's like, "Nope, I can't." And he was like,
No, but he never explained it to her. So he's like, "Oh, okay. So maybe he just doesn't realize one power can do it, but she doesn't have it." I don't think he knows that she doesn't have it.
Well, yeah, it left that open for question, right? Of whether she, but he might be piecing things together too, of realizing he hasn't seen her use it either in this whole time. So he might have. I was figuring he was like picking up a bit more of what was.
I'd like to stay on Lanfear for a second. What actually happened here? Black threads that kind of enveloped her and healed her of her wound.
Yeah. She put kind of her finger very slowly, kind of made her hand go to her throat, and I think like touched it, and then it healed. Like she healed herself with all the black evil spaghetti.
So okay, so she was only mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Okay.
Well, and Maureen said that, right? She's like, "Oh no, that's like gonna stop her briefly. Like that did not kill her."
Well, what if she like
merely a flesh wound?
What if she was just like, die, stab. It's getting wetter and wetter. Splash.
Well,
is she immortal?
So they referenced when she was Maureen was telling Rand that, he's like, "Tell me the truth." So he's like, "You released the lieutenant, the Forsaken," and he's like, "But they were," I can't remember what they were trapped. I can't remember the word he used. And she's like, they were, but they're not anymore. So they were never killed. Right? The first dragon, it wasn't that like they were all killed. They were trapped. So to me, she can't be killed. They have to be trapped. What's the word? Tell me the word. I don't think it was trapped, but
trapped.
Trapped. Imprisoned.
But they also said that he did it his last life. He entrapped them, and he released Dracula, and so Dracula released
Yeah, so he's the dragon reborn. So when he was the dragon before, that's when he trapped them. So to me, call them immortal or whatever, right? I also feel like they're whatever they are. They're something that made me feel like they were taking on a human form. That they don't always have a human form. I can't remember what it was that she did or said that made me feel like that's not always the form that the Forsaken have taken.
Okay.
I'll try and remember. I'll try and remember.
Was it during the dream sequence when she was like, where Ishii was kind of like caressing Rand's face?
Oh yeah, she went from one to the other.
He was okay. So I know now we're jumping way to that, but Ishmael in his dream was him in bed with Rand in bed with him and him caressing, and then he's like, "Oh wait a minute. You're Lanfear."
You trickster. You almost turned me on the other team, didn't you?
But I don't know if she was saying that something was taking so long where she had to get somewhere and it was just going to take a long time for her to ride the horse. Oh, horses are so slow or something. It was something like that. She's like, I think that's what it was. Like, there's a horse. She's like, I'm fine. Okay. And it just, to me, it gave me this idea of like, oh, geez, this human travel stuff is so stupid. But,
well, I have to say that when Maureen and Rand were leaving, that was definitely Nobella there. Not
a
Nobella.
novella?
Nobella.
It was not Bella.
Oh.
It was
not Bella.
It wasn't quite it was not quite a short story, not quite a novel. It was a novella.
Yeah.
Was it in Spanish?
It was a telemundo.
Telenovela?
Novella. Caliente.
And if she's going to bitch about the horses being so slow, why doesn't she just run?
Well, yeah, again, that's what I mean. To me, it was just her something that if she's this, and I don't know. I took it as being a human was annoying to her.
She popped that guy's head off, took his horse, finally found.
Yes!
She crushed it.
I watched it a second time and I did it. I did it when she did.
Yeah. Stable master. She ends up sewing her lips shut.
Within this very short time span, we saw her use 3 really different types of magic. One to heal herself, which was all the black stuff. Her just I think she went like this, and his head just disintegrated. And then with the horse master, she said, I promise I won't tell anyone. And she's like, I know you won't. And as soon as she said that, she just kind of ran off. And then
but she did have also a 1-power whip.
Whip, yep. That was
I did notice that. Yeah.
It's gold.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting to Perrin and Bob Marley.
Okay.
So I like the way Bob Marley misses beer. He's got his priorities.
I wonder why you eat flesh. Why can't you just go have a beer? What?
Seriously.
Well, not a lot of. Most taverns don't accept pets.
Why did Bob Marley bring him back to the side of the crime?
He's taking him the opposite direction. So he wherever
away
they
from
were,
danger.
Away from where his friends were being taken. And because he's like, you're not a slave. So they captured everyone else going the other direction, wanted to take him back.
Yeah, but he just doesn't seem to have good intentions.
Yeah, you know what? And because he keeps saying, he's like, they're not your pack. They're not and he's like, your friends aren't your pack. He keeps having all these kind of references of your wife, right? Did you hear how he said that too? Your wife wasn't your pack. He said that in a very specific way, it seemed. But yeah, he's wanting them to pull away from kind of everyone and everything. He doesn't want them to be near his friends. He doesn't want them to go back to his people. So there's I think there's something up what his intentions are for Perrin.
I think also the fact that Dracula mentioned it in the dream, what's going on with the guys. Oh well, Matt's been with me since the beginning, and he's going to be more wolf than human. So I think that he's got people working for him on the sly, doing his bidding to separate them all.
Yeah, that's quite possible. But I don't know. Yeah, so I want to come back to that because that whole dream sequence. Look, but we can stick with Perrin for a little bit too, because he had a lot of other stuff going on.
Okay, Hopper is the shit. I want a Hopper.
I know.
Such a cute dog. And why, when he gets into town, and I understand he's going to bury Popeye, but why is she in a box when everyone else in the boxes are dead?
Well, I think they said they tried to kill her, because he's like it took so many of them to even capture her. But you figure once she's captured, why did they not just kill her?
Yeah, they get so many ways. I could tell you 10.
I know, right? Well, but he said even as he got close, he's all, don't get close to her. So even in a cage, she seemed dangerous to that guy. So yeah. I had a few questions too. So Hopper showed him that Uno was down there.
I don't know if it was Hopper, because his eyes turned yellow, and that's when he saw it next to him. So I don't know if it was a sign Hopper saw it himself.
Oh yeah,
I saw his yellow eye.
Right.
So okay.
But I was wondering, I'm like, what? Really, you're gonna go there just to bury this guy? You're gonna kind of put yourself in danger? Perrin was really nice in a lot of ways. So it's okay, you're gonna put yourself in danger to go bury this guy. You're freeing this girl that you don't know. You've saved, you told her not to kill this guy because the guy gave you water. So he I like Perrin a lot. I'm curious on kind of some of those things because he has this overwhelming more than anyone else. Like no one else seems to be caring so much for other people. Everyone else seems to be caring like only for themselves, it seems.
He's very gentle giant.
Yeah.
He appears to be like so caring and everything like that. Now, the guy, when he comes into town, what are you doing here? There's a curfew. Now, I'm trying to figure out why there'd be a curfew when is anyone still alive in the town or aren't they all slaves or I don't understand that.
I think there were still people left in the town, right? Because all they had to do was take the oath, and because the new innkeeper said once you take the oath then they just leave and they leave us alone, like so and he asked where the innkeeper was. She followed them because they had taken her daughter. So I think there were other people in the town. The white cloaks chased out the Shen, but there were
and this was alluded to by High Lord Turak when he said you took a town that we can't defend.
We can't hold it. Yeah. Right. And the people in the town knew that too. They're like, yeah, just kind of get them out of here, swear the oath. And then what I don't know, right? So there were a lot of questions and there were a lot of people sort of that they introduced that then just left a lot of questions. So this guy who befriended Perrin or was, he's like, oh, I know you're from the Two Rivers. His name's Dane something, Barthold, whatever.
The
Bornhold. I wrote it down, Born. But
the Nepo baby in white.
Right, yeah. So, but he's like, your dad's not here to protect you anymore. So who is this guy? Who is his dad? He was nice to the Aiel woman and wasn't supposed to be. He gave her water and wasn't supposed to. And then during that fight where everyone was there, he waited and watched like until the very end. Then at the very end, he like got in there.
I'll show you.
Everyone go at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my cue.
Each count, he's taking a step back.
Like one, like two, 2.5. And everyone went, he's like, I didn't say 3. But...
All right.
Is Perrin now in the canine family, not just the wolf, because the dog covered him when he was peeking and ran out and jumped in. The guy's like, oh, he never was like this. And you always say my dog doesn't hump your leg. Well, I wonder if he's got a connection to all canines.
That's what I assumed, right? Is that he's got that they sense that there's something about him. So
we see.
I was going to say, I imagine if someone comes in town smelling like wolves, a dog would not take kindly to that.
Yeah. The child Valda lives.
Yeah. And is apparently afraid of wolves.
Doesn't like wolves. And everyone kind of rubs salt in that wound, right?
Yeah. So this guy's got some balls on him too. He's like, oh, don't worry, they're not wolves.
I don't know. He looked like a Jedi with that brown cloak on over the white outfit when he was to be nice and everything like that. So I don't know why, because they all are always in white. He just appeared to be
covered.
Yeah.
Right. And it was, because it was hard to tell who he was. And then even Perrin didn't see it because then he like looked over and they showed sort of like an opening. And I had a hard time realizing what it was until then I saw like the white cloak. I'm like, they must have showed that he was wearing white underneath. But why was he covering it up? So again, he doesn't seem to buy into the full white cloak, at least not with the questioners, right? The questioners are the assholes of the white cloaks. We learned that last season. That they're the worst of all of them. So
yeah, but he's traveling with them, so I don't know if he's technically a questioner or if he's just a white cloak, or I have no idea. There's so many questions that this episode brought up.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah, we don't even know like why they went to that town. What are they like? Are they looking for Aes Sedai? Are they just trying to, they heard that there was people hurt from the others, so they got them out. Like, I don't know.
That's a good question. Why are they there? Exactly. Yeah. Perrin frees Avienda, meets and frees Avienda, fights with her. She says she danced the spears well.
Yeah. Like, do you know how to dance? Well, yeah, but before that, so he releases her, right? And then all the white cloaks come, and he stands in front of her, and she's all, and she got right in front. She got right in front of him. She's like, friend, get in the back.
Yeah.
But
I
she
got
kept
it. Hold my beer.
referring to them as Welllanders.
Wetlanders. And she's from a place called the Waste, that he refers to the Waste. So to me, it made it seem like very desert, right? The Waste is dry. I don't know.
She called it the cold land.
Yeah, she did.
Life test sin, but she doesn't know what the sin is.
Right. She also said, so I like this girl a lot. She's now indebted to him, I think forever, for life. She said, you saved my life. So I'm your ride and die. Where are we going next? The toe, right? She there was a longer name for it, but she basically said in her culture, if you saved me, I'm now indebted to you. She called it the toe.
You know what? That would explain why she kept saying, you gave me the water or something like that. Because if she's from a desert place, water is fresher.
Yeah,
right. My water is yours.
My water is yours. There you go. So the Aiel are redheads, right? And it was dark, most of it, but I mean, she did have red hair. It was like kind of dreadlock-ish, but
it was dread.
Yeah, either dread
red.
Or red dread. But here's another thing she said is, because he's like, well, what are you doing here? And she said, I'm searching for, she had a name. I didn't write it down. I don't remember. She's like, but our chief of chiefs. I think that's something. And is it Rand? I'm wondering if it's Rand that she's searching for.
The Karakarn is what she said. Karakarn. I think that's over near the, past the waffle cakes and the churros, you can get some Karakarn.
So let me ask you a question. In the last episode, everyone was traveling to like Karakarn or Karn or wherever.
Karhane.
No, Kyrene.
Kyrene. And now everybody's going to Folsom.
Folsom Prison. They're all going to Folsom Prison.
Just to watch him die.
Now, are they near each other? Is it just like on the way? Or they just decided, nah, we don't like the Carney place, we'll go to Folsom?
Well, right. So Logain is in Kyrene. Moraine is in Kyrene. Rand is there. And Ishmael wants Matt to go there. So there's something happening there, but then everyone else is in Falm, so I don't know how far apart they are. Falm, I realize though, looks like I thought they transported to like Morocco. So all of a sudden there's like palm trees and there's animals. I'm like, oh, maybe this. I mean, look lovely. I'd like to visit. I like Aviendra, and I want to know who this Karakarn is. When she said she's searching, so it just seemed like. I mean, I don't know what kind of mission she's on, and if she knows who she's searching for. But it just made me think that the chief of chiefs, and if we now know Rand is the Dragon Reborn, maybe she's somehow searching for him.
There's more out there for her other than her.
Sure.
Yeah.
One last word about Perrin. He is somewhat gathering his own pack, it seems. The Wolf Hopper comes with him.
Mm-hmm.
Avienda's like, yo, I got toe to you. I'm coming with you. Wherever you go, I go. And suddenly he kind of has like...
He's not alone anymore.
He's not alone, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
he seems to have two really great companions that are going to help him.
But I still think he's trying to get back to the Two River group. I think that.
Yeah, well, he wants to go. He said, he wants to go to Falm, right? Because that's where Loyal but he doesn't know where his Two Rivers people are. But he wants to go to Falm.
He wants to save Loyal.
Yeah,
it was just like a day ago or a couple days ago that they got kidnapped.
They said it was like 2 weeks because when they were at the Ottawa Mill and he was talking to the White Cloaks or the innkeeper, they referenced, and it was 2 weeks or whatever. He's like, oh, they left, they came, so it's been a little while.
Moraine at her home,
mm-hmm.
and somewhere it was said that she left 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Her nephew said, I haven't seen you in 20 years. She's like, you were this big. Yeah. So this 20 years ago thing.
Yeah, and that's when she changed. So I'm wondering, was it something from home? Is it the nephew? I don't know. So I figured out it's not the sister.
Yeah.
The sister.
Yeah, I put the same thing down. I'm like, okay, so we know something happened 20 years ago. She hasn't been there for 20 years. And I'm like, is that when you became an Aes Sedai? But no, she's been an Aes Sedai for much longer than that. Okay, we're ready. Oh, shit.
Run away!
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Is that the golden horn? Is that the horn that Uno got impaled on? Oh no!
Oh my God. Here, I'll flick the fingers of who you're gonna go and kill.
Oh man!
Gosh, that's so funny.
That's the best thing I've seen all year.
So
Thank you
I
so much.
make a golden binky, and then I put some like makeup on the top of my head because that lady seems to have dusty on the top. So
No, it's perfect.
yeah, I did some arts and crafts.
Love the arts and crafts.
That is awesome. You don't even need the red across your eyes because I'm already picturing that makeup on you. Like, oh my
So
God,
great.
so good.
Yeah.
I had to pin my hair back, put it in a bun. Sorry.
Amazing. We love it.
Okay, just wanted to share this with you. So, Grace, if you'd like to talk about them coming to see me,
Is that a ring pop, by the way?
I cut it off.
Oh, wait, hold on. You're burying the lead.
It's functional.
So you hold on. No, so explain how you made that, Catherine.
Okay, this is a ring pop that I glued up. I cut off the ring part, and then I got Ferrero Rocher, and I was going to use that, the gold, to cover it, but it kind of was too crinkly. So I cut out the circle that said Ferrero Rocher because it was a nice size, and I covered it with gold foil that I got at Michael's, and I made a ring pop. And then I made a
What are you calling that?
A what?
salad
what is
looking
this?
horn.
Goodness.
That binky looks delicious.
It really. So I
All right,
guess
so we're talking about Leandrin and meeting the Lady Surath in Morocco.
yes, in Morocco. Yeah, I guess she threw the codes out the window.
Well, right, yeah. So they were in the ways first. So she had this whole conversation with Nynaeve, and yeah, so she confirmed she breaks the oaths. She's essentially a dark friend, Black Aja. She doesn't say what is in it for her. Right, so that was kind of part of the conversation of like why that Nynaeve asked her was like what's your price? Because she's like, your son is dying, you're sitting here to go like trying to explain things to a woman you've kidnapped. Like, is it worth it? What even was your price? So I started thinking about that with a few of them, like a few of these dark friends. Is we don't know what they're getting out of it, but there's some price that there's something that they're hoping to get out of what it is that they're doing. But
I don't know if she's the Black Aja though. I still don't know. She's just maybe a black or dark friend, but I don't know if she's the Black Aja.
Okay.
well, I don't know. To me, I guess I don't know. I mean, the other woman who like said, okay, this is proof that the Black Aja exists because this compulsion. A potential compulsion spell or whatever breaks an oath, and we know she lies, so that breaks an oath. So does breaking an oath mean if you're in here and you're pretending to be a regular Aes Sedai and you're not, you're Black God. So
Nynaeve tells her, "You broke the 3 oaths," and Leandrin was like, "Bitch, you have no idea."
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. Right. So, but there's still this question that she has. Like, she's not all evil. It's not 100% evil, right? She's explaining herself to Nynaeve. She's still trying to either justify or explain away why she's doing what she's doing. When she goes to take the girls to the new Mohawk girl, the Lady Surath, they have a very different opinion of the one power and of women and how women use the one power, right? So they're both dark friends, but they do not agree. They do not see eye to eye. So much so that Leandrin breaks them free before she leaves. So woman, it like confuses me with every step of the way. I'm like, you're evil. You're doing something that's not completely evil, but you still left them there, so that's evil.
Yeah.
So it's.
But why didn't the one who was I want to say the old Mohawk chick, why did she not have her power?
She's like, I can't do it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her power.
She annoyed me in this episode. She was really like, she's so bullheaded, right? But she's got no power at her control. And Elaine's all, okay, she's like, no, they're gonna catch us. We need to change our clothes. I'll fight them. Like, she's so calm and collected, and Nynaeve is just this bullheaded person. Like, and by the way, they left Egwene. Like, they're running out of the woods. She gets trapped. She's like, oh crap, where is she?
They keep going. Yeah.
They just kept going. I'm
Gotta find Baba.
I'm like, go back to the jungle and get your friend.
Well, they found the camels, and they had to follow the camels. I mean,
right? Yeah. I'm like, what is going on here? So it was, Nynaeve bugged me in this. She seemed very helpless, like I said, and kind of just that bullheaded of just barreling through everything. And Elaine's like, hold on, kind of chill. She used the power. Egwene used the power. Nynaeve never did.
Collared Egwene. Now, I didn't see any of the others with collars. I saw them with the vest. I don't know
and with the
collar to Binky.
What Lady Suroth, when they were arguing about the power, right? She was saying, we train our people, they go through so much. It's not just if you're born with it, which I'm like, well, we've seen them at the White Tower, and they seem to train people too. At least, I mean, right now they're being trained to do dishes and whatnot. But so maybe that's like the training. They collar them to train, but it seems like they control the power more than the women do, right? So they collar them, and they do whatever they need to do so that they can control the power, and the person who has the power isn't the one.
Yeah, like the white from her went into that girl's Wonder Woman bracelet. Mm-hmm. When Egwene was on the ground shriveling, and before they leashed her, like the power went into the Wonder Woman bracelet.
Oh,
so
I didn't notice that, but yeah, it's so it was really interesting to me, and just the fact that, again, I think Liandrin, can't stand her, and then all of a sudden she does something. I'm like, you're still super complex. Like there's more, like there's more going on here than just totally meets the eye. I also, right, so all the dark friends, so we've met a few of these dark friends now, including kind of two of the Forsaken. They don't agree with each other, and they don't like each other, and they're almost starting to like fight against each other. So Cat and Fane killed one of them, like we saw that, a few episodes ago, that he killed one of them. These two obviously don't like each other. And then even the Lanfear and Ishamael, when they were talking, she said that she was going to betray him. Or he's like, she's like, do you think I'm going to betray you? And he's like, she's like, I can't remember. I wrote it down. Like I probably will. Or something, right? So it's an interesting thing that they're either trying to take over the world or whatever, but they're not all in agreement, and they're not all working together.
Saw when they were in the dream sequence and they were discussing it, and she was talking, and then it wound up that she was in love with Rand through his different
as the first dragon.
Before, and he heard her before, so this way he can now maybe get her to do what he wants. But when they were discussing, though, that it's been 3,000 years and they still haven't gotten anywhere, and what they want to do is break the wheel. And I thought to myself, okay, so break the wheel. Well, I mean, what's wrong with that? I don't know.
Well, they were trapped. So the dragon trapped them. So they haven't been doing anything. At least that's what was my kind of understanding is they haven't been doing anything. They've been basically trapped for these 3,000 years.
I don't mean them. I mean in the world, the wheel keeps turning. Someone dies, and then they're recreated or reincarnated how many years later? Well, if they break the wheel and they die, they don't need to come back. I mean, maybe then they'll get some progress, because before the wheel was broken, they had made so much progress and they were so far ahead. Mm-hmm. And now we're looking at, horses, and we're looking at, all of this sort of stuff. So is keeping the wheel going really in their best.
Right.
I don't mean the bad people coming out and killing people, but I mean, is this wheel really helping people?
Right. That's
So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and as you're saying that, I'm remembering in last season when we saw the Blue Theron, the initial dragon, it seemed more futuristic, even though it was 3,000 years ago. So to your point, everything kind of broke and restarted. So now I'm thinking when Lanfear didn't like the horse, it was like, come on. And so it wasn't about being in a human form. It was about being like in these like ancient days. She's like, you guys haven't figured out how to get from point A to point B any faster
You're
yet.
not breathless?
There's no flying machines and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the wheel actually is something. I obviously we want the good people to win and the bad people not. But do we really want what they're going for? Is this really what's in their best interest? Is it just this is status quo? This is the way it's been. Let's keep going.
Does progress mean things were
Do
good?
they look like they're doing good though, and they're happy?
Everyone in the Two Rivers was happy.
Yeah, just expecting their dead people to come back sometime. Just
Hoping just
putting the lights out for them to come find me.
I had so many questions on this episode.
Yeah.
Another thing, Leandrin, she came back and Varen was at the tower, right? So Varen came to the tower. She's the brown Aja. Maureen sent her back. She wants to meet Egwene and Nynaeve, and it seems like when she gets there, she wants to meet them, but she already knows something's up. Like she's just telling people, she's like, "Oh, I've heard there's these two. I'd love to meet them. Where are they? Where are they?" Right, and figures out they're not there. Oh, and by the way, so she goes and greets her other two brown Ajas, Cho Chang from Harry Potter.
Is that Cho Chang, y'all?
It's Cho Chang, y'all.
Oh, I loved her accent. I should have picked up on it.
Immediately when she greeted her in that like Irish accent, I'm all
No, but I do like
I was like
the way
fangirling out that Cho was in this show.
And she was with a little person so apparently that's a thing in this land as well.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times, right? And they liked the drink that Varen brought, and
brought the good stuff.
They're like, give me that, give me that. No,
Brought the red wine from G something that the guy in the hospital wanted.
Wine.
Yeah, she brought the good stuff.
I think this was better than that.
This was hooch.
Yeah, this was some good. But right, so Varen's totally onto Leandrin. And I wasn't sure at first. So when she went and talked to the other like blue Aja, and I'm like, did she just lie? And then we realized she just forgot, and she forgot because now we think she was under like a compulsion charm or whatever to write this lie in the book. So Varen's on to Leandrin.
She's not doing a very good job running the dick and balls. It's kind of getting away from her.
She doesn't run it. She runs the novices, but she's not doing a good job at that either because she just lost 3 of them. But she was being compulsed. Like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, she didn't even realize they were gone.
Right.
You'd think you'd have track of your student.
Know where they are.
So we think that Shiriam is being compulsed by whom?
By Leandrin, because to me it's by Leandrin, right? Because Leandrin's the one that basically kidnapped them and to send them off to the Shanshan, and then she made up the whole story of when Varen said, "Oh, they went to Camelin," and she's like,
the ambush. Oh no,
they got ambushed. There's something.
No.
Oh, I hope it's not. I hope they're okay. Let's go. Come with me so we can make sure they're okay.
She had the asparagus to cover her butt.
Right? Exactly.
What do we think of Varen?
I like Varen. I think she's very smart. She's not like cunning, but there's a negative kind of connotation to that. But right, she knows the answer to the question before she asks the question. And she's got her other they're studious. They know history. They know kind of everything. So she's got her other brown Aja to help her. And whether she needed to bring them the booze for them to help her or not. I like her. I think she's going to help us get the girls back.
I think she did it for Maureen. He was like on a mission for Maureen. Okay, I'll keep the secret. Let me see what I can find out, and then we'll go from there. I think she's.
I agree.
Trying, yeah.
And they're obviously friends, right? So when Maureen needed somewhere to go, she went and was staying with her, right? So they're absolutely, she's looking out for her. And I don't think just as a favor to Maureen, it's important to her too, that she kind of figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. There was no Lan in this episode. Sorry, Lady Catherine. No nipples. No buns.
No buns.
No ab.
No shaggy hair.
No shaggy
Yeah, no
hair.
bad wig.
Mm-mm.
I wonder how Maureen's going to get her power back, because I don't think she's going to be without it for the whole thing. I don't think she's going to be, and if she does, then I don't think she's going to be that important of a character. And I think she's too important of a character not to have the one power.
Right, and her sister helped her figure out what to do next. Right, and her sister gave her advice that Maureen had given her years ago, and so she was able to kind of figure out that, like, I need to protect him from Lanfear, and then she realized I actually don't need to protect him from her. She could, if she really wanted to hurt him, she could have, and they're starting to figure out that right, and she even knew, like, the story of Lanfear was that she and the dragon were in love, and when the dragon met his wife and bailed on her, then she turned to the dark just to get back at him. So Maureen knew that, so now she's like, okay, I've figured it out, and she figured it out without the power, like through her own advice that her sister gave her. But I agree, I think she's going to get it back at some point, but watching her figure things out without it is interesting too.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's going to last forever.
No. And then that end scene with him on the wheel, because there's wheels everywhere. Him on the wheel, that outfit that she was wearing, the lace up and everything. Oh.
And in the dreams, right? So she looked one way in real life, and then in the dreams, right? Like the super dark makeup, shorter hair, right? She cut her hair shorter in the dream, Terranrion. Something, the dream world. So she's got this like different persona in that world than she does in her what I called her human form before. But that dream, yeah, she did. But that whole dream sequence between her and Ishamael was very interesting too, because again, he like trying to figure out what like everyone's why they're following kind of the Dark One, right? So we learned a little bit about her, but he mentioned something when they were in there about omens.
It was when he was speaking with High Lord Turak, and High Lord Turak said, "You were even the one who interpreted the
saw the omen. You're the one
that first saw the omen. Yeah,
may she live forever on the seat of the nines or whatever." Is the only one. He's like, my eyes don't go that high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was still blowing smoke up his butt.
I mean, so what are the implications of that then?
Yeah, I don't know what those are. It's another one of the questions of, I'm like, okay, there's a lot coming at us here. A lot of things that they're talking about that I feel like are really important and are going to mean something. But I don't know. I don't know what they all are. And I don't need answers to everything like in one episode. You don't need to introduce and then like answer it in the same one. But this one left me with a lot of questions.
This one,
answers, but
go continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say it gave us a few answers, right? So we know more about Liandrin. We know more about Lanfear, right? And how she kind of turned and why she turned to the dark. But we don't know a lot about some of the others, and we don't know why Lady Suroth is a dark friend. We don't know why Liandrin decided to be one. And we don't know why they're kind of kowtowing to this Lord Turak guy, unless it's because he's got the armies and his armies are gonna. I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
I do think the omens are that the Dark Lord is coming, sort of thing. Like the stronger men are getting stronger powers. The women are getting stronger. These are all signs that are going on. And one thing I did see when Liandrin was going through the ways and everything, after she gave them up and I realized, okay, so this is who she is. That's why, and from the very beginning, I was like, man, her outfit, the color had changed. And now I realize how much darker it is.
Darker.
And I was like, okay, so that's why you're not the bright red you were in the first beginning.
It was still, she still had red in there, but then, but it was the dark cloak and the darker, but yeah, the red was still in there.
Girls, when Leandrin exited the ways, the girls were all like passed out on horses.
Yeah.
What happened? Did she bonk him on the head?
Like
a cartoon?
She went like this, like woohoo, and no, but that's how she woke them up. So I think she had them under.
Yeah, I mean, right. So she
Good call.
threw him against the wall, got him into the ways. We never saw Egwene and Elaine awake in the ways, but we did see Nynaeve, and she had a conversation there. And then
Typical Nynaeve.
Right. And she like put him to sleep again, and then they were out cold until she woke them. What is it about the two rivers? And in that dream world where Lanfear and Ishamael were talking, she's like, they're like, okay, well, we're getting the girls, we're gonna meet Rand here, and he's like, and he did say, he's like, Mat has been mine from the very beginning. Okay, so all right, where did that come from? And then Perrin, right? So like, what happened in the two rivers that all of these people that the Dark Ones want and need together, that's just where they were and where they grew up. I mean, and we know like 4 of them were born there, and Nynaeve showed up there some way, somehow. So what I'm just still wondering, like, what is it about that place or all these people that connected them?
Do you think because in the beginning she said because one of the dark friends, the barkeep, said, yeah, I've seen the 5 of you, and they went 5, and maybe they don't know exactly who's got what power, so they're trying to see the dark friend. She was a dark friend, and she didn't know. She knew the 5 of them were what she was after.
You're referring to Dana?
Yeah.
The barkeep, yeah.
Okay. That one, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I still think they need a couple of them together, or as many of them as they can to defeat the dragon. Whatever, yeah.
Well, but Ishamael knows them all and knows what their powers are, right? So he's very aware.
But they all have powers.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something in the water.
We don't know what Mat's powers. Matt didn't necessarily have powers. He took that knife, and that was. I don't know if we've seen a power. He had the knife and he was evil with that, but nothing. So maybe he's a little klepto. And
is that what Ishamael was referring to when he said Mat has always been mine?
Maybe.
Because is he referring to the dagger itself?
And no, I think deep inside.
I feel always, that he just makes these decisions. He's easy to turn. Because he makes these decisions. He gambles. He steals stuff. It's like, I got him. No problem. He's going to be easy.
He doesn't gamble very well either. He loses all the time. No.
Right?
This is a tiny bit off subject per se, but we've seen several dark friends. What do you think the process is for someone to become a dark friend?
Yeah, the ideology.
I don't know, and that's one of the things kind of that I was wondering, because it's this it's like when you sign your soul to the devil, right? You're like, here's I'm gonna get something, and now I'm in your care. It seems like that's what it is, right? So Leandrin, that's what I was trying to say. I'm like, so what was in it for Leandrin? What was in it for Lady Suroth? But I feel like they sold themselves for a benefit. I just don't know what there's some of my questions of what the benefits they're getting, what they're getting out of it.
They also, it's the fact that not only are they dark friends, but if they're getting visions from them, they're on the mailing list. So they
Yes.
It's like the what's it called? Voldemort.
I'll show you mine.
Yeah, they got that. Yeah. I don't know, and it's just like we were last week. What makes an Aes Sedai? Because Maureen doesn't have her power anymore, but she's still an Aes. Is she still an Aes? So this one added a lot of new dimensions to it. But the problem I have is last week was a lot slower episode, and then this week jumped so much in one. if they had spread it between the two, maybe it wouldn't be so confusing. And now I'm just concerned that there's 3 more episodes. Are we going to be left hanging for another 2 years?
Cliffhanging,
is what I'm bummed about.
Yeah, this one, and I liked last one because I feel like I understood kind of at least where things were going or why they were happening. And in this one, I was like, okay, more new people, and I don't know why. And I feel like everyone I'm meeting is super important. But and I don't know why. So I feel like this one at the end, I was like, okay, there's a whole lot of questions that I have that I want answered. And to your point, I sure hope it gets answered in the next 3 episodes without it kind of happening too fast, where it's just like, okay, now we're
Elaine and Nynaeve meet Ryan,
the yellow. Is that the yellow Aja?
Yellow Aja, who saves them from
the warder saved them.
The warder saves them, correct. From Sarath kind of has their description out in the city. They were going to get captured.
How much head trauma can they go through in one season?
So many bonks.
But she's a yellow Aja, so she can heal them.
There you go.
They're like, Elaine, we're casting for Elaine. Can you show me what you look like unconscious? Okay. Can you show me what it looks like when you get bonked? Okay. Nice. I like that. Is there any predictions as far as what is going on with Elaine and
No fucking idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
lost.
they're in Falm, right, which is where Egwene is, which is where they're gonna find her. They're gonna their goal is to go and find her, and they got super lucky that they got an Aja to help them. So they'll maybe disguise themselves. They'll get mohawks, and they'll get these cool masks and long fingernails, and then they'll walk around town, and then they need to find the key to Egwene's collar.
Right, that was a cool collar the way it put on.
Yeah, looked painful.
It was magic.
I'm thinking that Perrin and Dread are going to meet up with them. Maybe Dread's find some friends that she's been looking for, and they all meet up at Folsom.
Because Matt and Min are still somewhere else, and Shamael wants her to take him to Kyrene, which it'll be interesting if she
let's get
that or not.
I would love a Matt and Min prediction. Are they gonna do it?
I think she's not gonna take him to Kyrene. I think she's gonna take him somewhere else, and maybe they'll probably end up in Falm too. Who knows why? But I don't think she's gonna sell him out.
I hope she keeps him away from Rand, because the vision she saw was him stabbing Rand, and that isn't what
what do you think of that? Yeah.
Right.
Shit, I don't know. I don't know if the visions are actual predictions or possibilities.
Or more like euphemistic, like he'll be the kind of contribute to being the end of you, or like you're in danger when you're around him, or something like that. But not literally.
Well, it could be he pretends to stab him so that the other people think he's hurt, and but there's so many ways you could go with that.
I was saying there's a lot of questions that were introduced in episode 5, so hopefully they get answered in the right way throughout the next, but without kind of throwing so much at us. I don't want any more questions right now. I want things to start being kind of answered, and is the last battle going to happen in Falm, and what's the deal with the horn? The Great Hunt, the Great Hunt was not so great. Like, dude just sauntered in with a horn, so there wasn't a whole lot of effort put into finding it.
Is it Louis Armstrong?
Yeah.
That horn?
Yeah, I mean, what is the horn? I'm, party favorite or what?
You have the horn of Valir right there. Put it on your forehead. You're the rhinoceros of Valir.
I feel like there's a lot of big things that we keep learning and keep talking about, and just I'm waiting to see how it all sort of comes together.
Right. Is Maureen going to attend Barthanes' wedding?
Right. I mean, they're going to stay in Kyrene, it seems. They were ready to go, and she's like, oh, nope, turns out we don't need to go. You can go to sleep, and you're going to meet her there. And
flirt with her. Flirt with her. Kind of, push a little game, would you, Rand?
Screw around. But she doesn't know that the guy who's been kicking it underground for 3,000 years is also being able to go into dreams, too. he said, look, I had plenty of time. I can do this too. So I don't know if he's going to show up and try and cock block or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and Lanfear already said she was going to betray Ishamael anyway. So again, there's so many layers going on, and it's like, okay, with every single one, there's like a lot, which I enjoy. But I feel like for this episode, it was a bit much.
But I do think if they break the wheel, that the bad people, are not immortal, because everyone seems to be able to come back. They can stay alive, maybe because the wheel's going and they don't know it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and then that just made me think too, is how do you, like, do you ask the question of how do you become a dark friend? How do you become a Forsaken? And, you know, I've gone a few different things of like, okay, are they a being and then in human form or not? But Lanfear was Lews Theron's like lover. They were in love with each other. So then you kind of figure, right, you were human and now you're a Forsaken. So, and like committed to the Dark One. So is it like the next level of dark friend? Like you're a dark friend, but then you have to like do even more, and then you become a Forsaken. So all right, I just asked like 85 questions. So I
think they graduated Slytherin House,
right?
And how the hat said Forsaken.
Yeah,
Forsaken.
Well, that's been an amazing discussion and an amazing surprise from Lady Catherine. Before we end this episode, let's do our patented The Way of the Leaf rate. That's right. Out of 5 leaves, how many leaves do you give this episode?
I give it a 2 for the fight scene with the white cloak and for Perrin. And the rest just left me up in the cloud.
Okay.
That's what I wrote.
I give it a 3, which I think is my lowest of the season. It was just a lot of questions. There was a lot of stuff that I really liked. I love Cho Chang. I liked Baron. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I liked, but at the end it left me more confused than I've been on after any of the other ones. So
made it less enjoyable that way.
Yeah. Just at the end, I'm all, all right. Like I literally had that big question. I'm like, there's a lot. There's a lot in there. I don't know I'm not really sure what's next.
Well, there are 3 episodes remaining. Hopefully we will get some more clarity and answers as they come through. This one was a challenging episode. There was a lot being thrown at you, ladies, that I can see why your ratings are a little bit lower based on the confusion that's going on, for sure. We will continue to do our ratings and our reviews here every week with Lady Catherine, with G Mama, with Ryan and me, Ryan's brother Dan. We have The Way of the Leaf. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We have a Patreon, we have a Discord, we have a Twitter. Join all our things. Why don't you?
Yeah, and until next time, run for your lives. This is The Way of the Leaf.
Yay.
Bye.
Look at my butt.
That was a fun.
Look at my butt.
All right, I have physical therapy. I gotta fly.